It is a period of Star Wars mania, as new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
Welcome back, everybody, to Inside the Force, where we explore the galaxy far, far away with news, interviews, profiles, and all kinds of stuff.
Other little things.
Yeah, all kinds of things. I'm David Cottingham here with Casey Cooley.
Hello, everyone.
As usual, it's us.
Sorry.
You weren't expecting anybody else, were you?
Gotcha. Aren't you glad? Aren't you glad I didn't say banana?
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
Right. That's my daughter, right? Welcome. We are in the middle of a pretty interesting series of months we're going to have here where we're exploring characters from the movies, actually. Specific per month. We are in this month of November. We are hitting on episode 4. Since that was the first movie released.
Yes.
That's the order we're going in.
Why?
That is exactly why we are doing that. Now, so last week, we started off episode 4 with the, help me out, Case.
Dr. Evazan.
That's right.
Dr. Death.
Pig Nose.
Big nose guy.
Pig Nose guy from
I don't like you either.
Mos
That
Eisley
guy.
Canteen. And he's got an interesting background.
Yeah. Weirdo.
Yeah, it's very weird. Very strange, very evil in a sense.
Like one of those mad scientist kind of guys.
Yeah. What was it? Cyborging?
Cyborging.
Yeah.
I forgot.
That's what he was into, cyborging.
He's so into that cyborging stuff.
Yeah. So
Too much.
So this week, we actually wanted to, I guess, kind of pay tribute a little bit to a listener that contacted us by email, which is weird because normally it's Twitter. But we welcome the emails, info@insidetheforce.com. You can see it right there on the website, Inside the Force. This comes from Christopher Biggs.
Christopher Biggs.
So naturally... we're going to hit on Biggs Darklighter. And he quotes in his email that, yes, this is my real name.
It's awesome.
So, but anyway, he says, hey, guys, I keep meaning to send you an email commending you both on an awesome podcast. Just wanted to let you know about this first. According to the Star Wars radio series, Disney will be open auditioning the public across Britain and Ireland for episode 7. So this is very true, and we found out a lot, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot more now.
Yeah, there's a lot more across the states as well, North America. So we will get to that. But first, because we appreciated this email so much, we are going to talk about Biggs Darklighter. Indeed. Who everyone would know, if you were a Star Wars fan, is in episode 4, which we are highlighting this month, and you only see him in episode 4, unfortunately.
That's a shame.
It is a shame because I would say he's a pretty popular character. In the series, and who knows, we might get him in a television show.
Ooh, I was thinking the same thing about Rebels.
Or the Rebels, right? Although he's kind of young still.
Yeah, it would have to be Tatooine. It'd be hard to show him and not show Luke.
That's right. Very much so, because
they
as you'll know, that they basically were best buddies, grew up together. So, but he was a little older. He was born in 24 BBY, which would put him about 5 years older than Luke. Born on Tatooine. His father, Huff Darklighter, was a local agricultural magnate, and he was very privileged because his father made a lot of money. He owned dozens of moisture farms, bought water from other farmers at low prices, and the water that he didn't use to migrate his own stuff or irrigate his own crops and stuff, he sold the water to high prices to other farmers. So he was just a big businessman, made a lot of money. He spent most of his youth in Anchorhead, which is a very popular city on Tatooine, next to Mos Eisley and Mos Espa. and that is where he met young Luke Skywalker. And they ran around with a lot of friends. They call this guy Tank Sunbur and Fixer Lonazer. Who else you got? Deke, yeah. Deke, and then Wendy Starkiller.
But that character I've looked up before. It's weird. I think normally that person goes by a different name, and I think it's actually a guy. Yeah, it's a guy. Normally he goes by Wyndham Marstrap. Wendy Marstrap. And I think it's just like in a couple of books or something like that. But yeah, that's a Wendy Starkiller. It's interesting that you see Starkiller pop up every now and then.
But I guess, the Starkiller we're thinking of, that was not his given name. That was kind of Vader's given name almost.
Code name kind of.
Yeah. And of course, they often socialized at Tossie Station.
Picking up those power converters.
Which is known as a power distribution center, is what Tossie Station is. So I don't know why kids would want to hang out there, but hey, that's what they're them,
Maybe more went on at that Tossie Station.
Yeah, exactly.
That Luke was not saying.
Yes.
But
I
Uncle
totally
Owen,
agree with that.
Uncle Owen knew what he was really trying to do.
Exactly.
You
can waste time with your friends some other time when your chores are done.
Buying those power converters, more like smoking doobies.
Yeah, exactly. I know what you're doing back there. You're smoking that bantha weed.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing. Ridiculous. So they developed, as in him and Darklighter and Starkiller formed a very, very strong bond. Now, I'll get to that, I guess, because, I'll mention this. Reading, because we're going to talk about The Star Wars, which is a comic that's running right now, and number 3 came out this week. Mm-hmm. But I guess, was Starkiller, I'm trying to think of, because it wasn't one of the names of Luke in the drafts, was it Darklighter or was it Starkiller?
Luke, it was Starkiller.
It was Starkiller, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Or actually, Starkiller is in there.
Yeah.
He's
General Luke Starkiller. Anakin Starkiller.
No, he's Anakin Starkiller.
Anakin
Starkiller.
Yeah, Luke Skywalker.
He is Luke Skywalker still. Okay, so there is Starkiller. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
So Darklighter is I was thinking Darklighter might be one of the original names of Luke or something like that, but that's not the case. Anyway, so they, of course, the reason why they're such good pilots is that they raced T-16s, and Luke, obviously, this too, because Luke mentioned this while he was, with the rebels on Yavin, talking about, I used to target womp rats with my T-16 back home. So they would take these through, Beggar's Canyon, which was a very narrow canyon in the Jungling Wastes on Tatooine, and they would target and what they call tagging womp rats through the canyons there. So that basically earned them and gave them experience of piloting, which made them very, very good and to be able to do that. So there was a lot of heated battles between them as far as like who was the better pilot.
Yeah.
Friendly, I guess, in a sense.
I'd say so.
So anyway, they so as this went on, there was an interesting fact that I thought was cool, was that Darklighter actually developed a romantic caring for Kanji, which is a local girl in Tatooine. Unfortunately, she was captured by Tusken Raiders, sand people to those lay people.
to the lapers.
But by the time they rescued or got to her, she was dead.
Yeah.
But he always carried a hologram of her around, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That would have been cool to see at some point. Or, I'm assuming, because you looked this up, a lot of this comes from a comic.
Yeah.
That you could probably get, I guess. What was the name? It was called Darklighter, wasn't it?
I think they've combined it into a trade now called the Saga of Biggs Darklighter.
Oh, okay.
So that's probably what you'll find.
Yeah. And you might be able to see some of that. So Darklighter, and I think, if you brought this up while we were talking beforehand, there's a very, very good deleted scene on the Blu-rays where they meet. I guess that's Tashi Station, or that's Anchorhead, or maybe it's just Anchorhead.
Oh, okay, yeah, probably.
But they're at a bar or something like that, a restaurant in Anchorhead.
Yeah.
And Luke meets up with Biggs, and Biggs is talking about, because he's in the Navy apparently.
Yeah,
he's left the Navy, and this, if you recall, Luke was this whole time they had planned on joining the Navy.
Yeah.
Leaving Tatooine. But at the time when Biggs was ready to go, Luke was supposed to go. But that's when, Owen Lars was like, just stay one more season.
Yeah.
And then that's where obviously episode 4 is when, I'm supposed to stay one more season while all my friends are out joining the Navy. But Biggs explains to him in that scene how he's thinking about joining the Rebel Alliance.
Yeah.
And that kind of gets, I think Luke, like anybody, I think a lot of people wanted to join the rebellion, but they were like, they knew that there was no way they're going to win.
Yeah. We're just like, we're going to die.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to die, you join the rebellion.
Yeah.
But you find out in that scene, basically, it's explained now, even though it's a deleted scene, I guess. I don't know. It's not necessarily canon, but it's explained now that scene actually he was not revealing the entire truth to Luke. Because what happens is that when he leaves and joins the academy, so he realistically joins the Imperial Academy, and he joins with a friend of his, right? Derek Kilvian,
yeah,
right?
Kilvian, yeah.
So him and Derek Kilvian, they join the Imperial Navy Academy. They are basically assigned together the entire time,
right.
Making their way up. They're taught by Soontir Fel, one of the Imperial officers at the Academy. They end up making contact with the Rebel Alliance while they're on a trip to the planet Bestine 4. And here's the thing, is that they were meeting with these rebel spies.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, luckily for them, that there was an informer and basically ratted out that meeting. But luckily they weren't at the meeting at the time. The informer was.
Yeah.
So him and Kilvian were not implicated. But that didn't, that kind of swayed him a little bit, but didn't discourage him from actually still trying to find out about the rebellion and possibly join it. But it wasn't until they got assigned to a space freighter called the Rand Ecliptic. Am I right for somewhere?
Yeah. You're doing great, man.
So, what happens on this case? The Rand Ecliptic.
The Rand Ecliptic. Well, they're still together, both in this. And they actually, it's strange, like, they kind of rise through the ranks quite a bit.
They do, really fast.
Biggs becomes the first mate of that ship, and Kilvian, what does it say, becomes the executive officer of the ship. And so while this time, they're still, I guess, trying to figure out more about the rebellion, all that stuff. They do a lot of missions that we won't get into, but they still planned on joining the rebellion. They plan to jump ship, basically, and locate what they know. One of Kilvian's friends, named Lindy, who's apparently just a friend in the rebellion, or knows people in the rebellion. They were going to jump ship and meet with this friend and just join the rebellion that way. And they had it all planned out. They were going to go to this mission. They were going to,
Yeah, they were in this Imperial Naval Yard.
Yeah.
Where they planned on joining.
Yeah, so it's all planned out. But then the ship's captain, who has a crazy name, Star Wars name, Heliusk, however you say his name.
Yep.
Sent both Darklighter and Kilvian, Biggs Darklighter and Kilvian to on this, like, I guess, a ship, whatever, on this mission, or whatever. And it's strange because they were getting kind of suspicious by this captain, thinking like, oh, he knows our plan that we're going to jump ship, and
yeah, because normally one of them is supposed to stay on board.
Yeah,
when he sends both of them off,
kind of like isolates them too. So they're kind of freaking out, and their worries pay off because they end up getting caught by some Imperials. They're getting arrested by being rebel spies or in league with the rebels, and it's this captain Helios who is in charge of it. So it's like, yeah, okay, so we thought you were going to betray us, whatever. And during this whole time, Biggs and Kilvian, they're trying, they're going to jump ship and to go with Lindy, this friend who has a contact in the Rebel Alliance, and the contact they know is codenamed as Starfire. So they think they're going to meet up with Lindy and meet up with Starfire, but the Helios guy stops them and arrests them. And before he kind of sends them off to the prison, whatever, on the ship, he slips Kilvian this little thing called a rank cylinder, which is a key. Secretly does this. And then as soon as Kilvian and Biggs are in their cell, they realize that this key that the captain gave them is a key that goes into the captain's quarters. And I guess it unlocks them from the cell and gets them into the captain's quarters. So they do that. They kind of, secretly get out of their cell, go to the captain's quarters, Captain Helios, where it turns out that he is the rebel contact, Starfire. And he's such a high-ranking dude, he can't really, make himself known. So he helps them stage this mutiny on the ship, where through a series of crazy things, they managed to get the Rand Ecliptic to self-destruct. They initiate the self-destruct sequence, which all these ships have. Which
basically gets the whole crew off the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so which allows Biggs and Kilvian to jump ship and to join the Rebel Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
So they managed, they're still being chased after, but they managed to escape through hyperspace.
Right.
And then they find the Rebel Alliance, wherever they are.
Yeah, they hook up with the Rebel Alliance, and he hooks up with his first mission. He flies with a very well-known rebel, Wedge Antilles.
Yeah.
They attack a bunch of Imperial convoys. Eventually, they go on a very important mission where they actually capture and take hold of a ton of X-Wings that serve as what ends up being Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
Which basically leads us to episode 4, where because of the Battle of Yavin, they basically assign him to Rogue Squadron, and that's when he gets the call sign of Red 3. So and it briefly talks about that is when. So right around the time he joins the rebellion, gets assigned to with Wedge. At some point before the Battle of Yavin, that's when he makes his way back to Tatooine.
Yeah.
Meets up with Luke.
Yeah.
So technically, that's what I mean. At that point, he's telling Luke, we're thinking about joining the Rebel. Yeah. Well, at that point, he had joined.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to protect Luke and not give away anything. So
that's a cool deleted scene anyways, because Luke looks up and he sees the space battle of Vader infiltrating the Tantive 4 and all that stuff, which is pretty cool.
It's very good.
Though there's like bright lights in the sky, basically, what it looked like.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah. Then he dies.
Yeah. Red 3 dies.
In Battle of Yavin.
Wait!
Yeah.
Wait!
Dunzo. Well, like Wedge, I was watching this scene before we did this, and like, it's Wedge and Biggs and Luke in the trench.
That's right.
And Wedge just gets clipped. He's like, "Oh, I can't do this. I gotta get out of here.
I gotta get out of here."
It's like, "All right, you're no good here.
You're no good back there."
Yeah.
Why didn't he say, "Biggs, you're no good back there either.
Yeah.
Get out of here"?
What? Yeah.
No.
Or Wedge. Why did Wedge leave? He just got clipped. He's like, "Sorry," and left.
I know.
It's like, I'll let you fend off these 3
Sorry,
TIE fighters.
I gotta come back in the next one.
Oh my gosh.
I gotta be in the sequel.
Yeah. Goodbye.
So anyway, Biggs, Luke's best friend, gets killed in the Battle of Yavin.
That's sad.
In the Death Star truck by Darth Vader, his father.
Oh, Dad, come on.
Yeah.
The worst. There is one interesting little thing. Like, a couple times, Biggs ran into this character called, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Rivosh Tarkin, who is the niece of Grand Moff Tarkin.
Right.
But she is actually a good person. She's a good girl.
Yep.
And she helps them kind of with some information to help the rebels, which I thought was pretty nice. Not all the
Very
Tarkins are
nice.
evil.
No, not all of them.
Yeah, that's good. Biggs Darklighter.
So there you go. Biggs Darklighter.
Yeah.
Thanks, Christopher Biggs,
Yeah.
for sending us that. Anybody else got a Star Wars name? Send us an email.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to some news.
We
Got some big stuff to talk about here. Go ahead, Case.
Well, I guess we'll start with one of the biggest things. It is what we've been waiting on, the official release date
Yes.
of Star Wars. Gosh dang it. This came out last Thursday, so it's hopefully you've heard about it by now. But the official release date will be December 18th, 2015. That is when Star Wars Episode 7 will be in our lives.
Which is a Friday, right?
I didn't look, but I assume it is, but I don't know.
I think it's a Friday.
Yeah, wait. No, it's Wednesday, 'cause December 20th is a Friday. I mean, December 20th is the last Friday.
But December 20th
of the
is a
public
Friday
schools.
this month.
Oh, you're right. Just kidding. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. If it's a
this
Wednesday
year.
this year, then it'll be a Friday next in 2015. Yeah, you're right. Just kidding. All right. Yeah, backtrack that. Anyways,
Yeah,
December 18th is
December
a Friday.
18th
Yeah.
is a Friday.
Yeah.
Of 2015.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah. Stoked.
So I'm not sure. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I'm okay with it. I know, yeah, I'd rather it be in May or at least a summer thing, but I can't complain.
I mean, I'm. Here's the thing. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm just, and the reason why I'm not completely behind it is because I just think and I know it's not Lucas anymore, but you've established that it's a May thing.
Yeah.
May the 4th, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's Star Wars comes out in May. And if you had not done that, if it was sporadic, then I would be whatever.
Yeah.
Come out whenever. But I don't know.
Movies usually do that. All franchises usually do that. Keep it the same month.
They
or
do.
two, around the same month.
Yeah, I mean, look at Avengers.
Yeah.
Look at the Iron Man movies, Batman movies, Spider-Man's. Those always hit around the same time every. So, and I know that they have to think about it based on already the release dates for Avengers, for Ant-Man, which they've already moved several times. So,
also just to have time to complete the movie itself,
and that is a big key, and pushing it probably to May 2016 was probably too long.
Yeah.
But so as long as maybe now they keep it at Christmas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like every couple of years we get the new one.
I would like, yeah.
I think that would, as long as they do that, I'll be okay with
That'd
it.
be
I
fine.
think, yeah. It's just going to be weird going to,
Yeah.
because I remember in episode 1, I remember camping out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
Camp out in
I wouldn't
December.
do it anyway, but if I was younger,
Yeah.
you can't camp out in the north, with
Yeah.
in December. I mean, you freeze your ass off. So,
Yeah.
but now that we got the date though, I'm pumped.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because, one of the things that kind of converted me was I forgot about it. Titanic and Avatar both were released in December, and those did huge. And Christmas movies,
all the Lord of the Rings movies.
yeah, the Hobbit
are
movies
December.
too, and a lot of big movies come out.
So that means so no, he will not be competing as
Hobbit. No, that's
they'll be done next
2014.
year.
Yeah,
Yep.
that'll be the last one. So that's good. I mean, yeah. At least we got. So now, what do you think? We'll get the trailer. You have a theory when we'll actually fire.
Well, I have a theory. Well, now I have a theory that we're going to get something in front of Captain America.
Yeah, which is April. Yeah,
like
probably
something very brief. Yeah, I'm talking
super tease.
Honestly, I think it would only be possibly some voiceover with some visuals.
Yeah.
Because that's all CG stuff.
Like CG, yeah. CG
Maybe a shot of Coruscant.
Yeah.
Maybe another Jedi Temple shot.
Yeah.
Something.
That was the rumor. Or even something really, maybe a little bit better. It would be like a battleship coming in.
Oh, exactly.
Briefly,
yeah.
Something. I don't know.
Totally.
Attacking Coruscant or whatever.
But yeah, I think we'll get something next. I don't, yeah. If not, then it'd have to be Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I'm not really. All the rumors were saying it would be like a December Christmas thing, that's good that they turned out to be true, I guess.
Yeah.
So all these other rumors that we've been hearing have probably also been true.
Mm-hmm.
But now, some other kind of news that sort of cancels some rumors, maybe. We'll see. Or it's the open casting call that has just been released last week. Now, I have been following this extensively because I first got the news, I think it was last Tuesday or Wednesday, or when this came out. I think last Wednesday, around that time when it came out, where this person tweeted from at UK Open Call, a London-based casting director. She tweeted this casting call sheet, basically open auditions, or they call that a meet and greet, of these two roles, and I shall open it here in a second so I can read specifically what the things say. But basically, they're two roles, and they're purported to be like the lead roles, and they are for a male and female, and they actually kind of go along with some of the rumors that we've been getting. One is called, they call them Rachel and Thomas, which obviously are fake names. One, the Rachel character, is going to be 17 to 18-year-old girl. She must be beautiful, smart, athletic, open to all ethnicity, so they want everybody to audition. And it's saying, but like here's the character bio, or character description they give. Was quite young when she lost her parents with no other family. She was forced to make her way in a tough, dangerous town. Now then she's saying how she's street smart and gets by on her own kind of thing. But the whole point of that saying was quite young when she lost her parents. And they say the same thing for the male role, Thomas, who they want a 19 to 23-year-old actor, handsome, smart, athletic, must be over 18. It says he's grown up without a father influence. Without much of a role model of being a man. He doesn't have the strongest sense of himself and all this kind of stuff. So I'm also thinking that these are fake descriptions, but we can get into that in a minute. But they have these descriptions for the characters, and the UK auditions, which, if we have any British listeners, the next one is actually this weekend in Manchester, November 16th and 17th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., both the same day, same place, whatever, or both days are at the same time. And they have some in Glasgow, some in Dublin, some in London later on in the month, all of them this month. And I was like super stoked, super excited about this. But I was like, I wish we got something in the United States, if this is real, because these things never said Star Wars. It only said Disney film. So I never thought it was actually a Star Wars movie. But then we got more news saying that they're coming to the U.S. They're coming to Minnesota, Chicago, Michigan, Texas, and Nashville, also around the same time. But then later on, Lucasfilm actually said these are in fact for Star Wars Episode 7. So now we have official open casting call for Star Wars Episode 7. So that's what's happening right now, is that we have this meet and greet, which basically I've been reading up a lot about what's going on, is because some of them have already happened. And like in the one in Bristol, one in London last weekend, 4,500 people showed up to one of the days. About 2,500 are actually seen before they close it off. And out of that, about 170 actually got a call back. Because what they do, they go in for a couple minutes and they just get asked some questions by the casting director. They get asked questions such as, have you had acting experience? What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite Star Wars movie or whatever? What do you like to do in your spare time? Kind of thing. Just really to get a sense of what kind of person you are. And then if they like your look, I mean, this is like legitimate casting stuff. That if they see you, they like your personality. If they like your look, they will ask you back to come and read from these sides, this little script, and kind of audition, actually. And a lot of these people actually have gotten callbacks. And so it's really interesting. It's very exciting because, they haven't done this. I mean, they did this with the original Star Wars, but now this is, the chance to happen again, to find some unknowns to become Star Wars famous. And it's so interesting because some people, on the news that were saying that they were seen and they were interviewed and they left, they actually said how it was kind of annoying because they were expecting some big audition, but it was like a really short chat And they left, and they thought, like, well, that was stupid. I wasted all my time standing here. And I think that's a bunch of bullcrap. Because, first of all, it's for Star Wars, so it shouldn't matter how long you wait.
Right.
Also, that's how it works. You literally go in, and if they don't like the way you look, that's it. I mean, just that's the way the business works. Because you have a lot of these people who are coming in. Some people were dressing up as Star Wars characters. Some of them were like in their late 20s and 30s. Like, why are you showing up when it clearly says they're looking for teenagers in early 20s? Why would you show up? They're obviously not going to pick you. Yeah. And that's annoying. But anyways, I am definitely going to go to the Nashville
there you go.
casting call. And this is finally the chance I've been waiting for. I mean, I'm not getting hopes up at all, but just to say that I tried.
Absolutely.
Just to tell my kids, hey, I auditioned for Star Wars.
Yeah.
But I didn't get it.
Someone saw it. Someone.
Yeah.
And most of the time, here's the thing is that the beauty of it, auditions, and I haven't done it on obviously a scale like that,
right.
But I've done a lot of auditions too. But I've been casted not for the role I auditioned for, but for another role.
Exactly. Yeah.
So going in there, but like Casey said, you should pay attention to the description of the character.
Yeah.
Don't show if they're don't show up for an African American 30-year-old if you're like me, if I'm a 37-year-old Asian guy. You just don't do that. So they're looking for teenagers.
Yeah.
Early 20s. I don't go to this audition because I'm 37. So, well, I'm giving myself too much, 36. But, so I just think that if you fit the description for what they're looking for, the point of doing it is not also just to get that part, but to open up your door to possible other parts or other films too. I mean, it's Disney. Yeah. They got a million films going, not a million, but they got several films going a year. Yeah. So just the fact that the biggest thing you need to take, I hope you need to take a resume. Yeah. You need to take a headshot. Yeah. So that they file that stuff. Yeah. So this is not just an opportunity to be in Star Wars. Yeah. I mean, this is just an opportunity to open the door for other things. Yeah.
If you don't have that kind of stuff, the casting director said it's not necessary, but if you have it, bring it. We will take it. I mean, I know I'm going to bring it.
You need to bring it. I
know I will.
Absolutely. Yeah. Not just you. I'm talking to everybody. Yeah. You need to bring a headshot and or resume. Yeah. If anything, just a headshot.
Yeah. And to show that you're serious because...
Yeah.
I mean...
but just to leave your mark because there is a chance that the first round, that they're not going to be videoing this.
No.
You could literally just walk in, and if you don't have anything to leave, they're going to forget what you look like. Yeah. Or even what you did. Even if they like it, they're going to be like, he's pretty good, but is he in our top 75 that we're going to call back? No, but man, I wish he had a head card that maybe, so don't be that guy or don't be that girl where they don't have anything to reference you with.
Right. And yeah, they have sides that you can, because if you go to, because they actually have released online auditions too that you can go to.
I was about to say,
yeah, open.
So if you can't make it to the actual physical locations,
let me find the website. I think it's
you can submit
Opencasting 2013. Opencastingcall2013.com. That's where you can submit your online audition. You have to go in, give your email, choose which role you're auditioning for, and they will email you instructions on how to make the video. They'll give you the sides to read, and the sides are pretty interesting. I mean, it's nothing that gives away anything at all. It's like the Rachel and Thomas character. Thomas is like bleeding, and she's trying to help him get to a safe place. So it's kind of, it's vague, but you can do that if you can't show up. They suggest you can do the online audition in addition to showing up to the meet and greet, or in place of going to the meet and greet. I'm gonna do both, but very cool. I'm just the past week I've just been soaking in all this stuff and like looking as much as I can at what's been going on, what have they been asking, what can I do to kind of prepare for this stuff. So like guys, don't show up dressed as Princess Leia or Chewbacca like some people are. Don't waste their time basically. I feel like there's like something else I was gonna suggest about or say about this, but the news. But the next one this week is in Chicago. It's this Thursday. Where is it in Chicago? It's the Park West Theater. If you guys are around that area, 3 to 8 p.m. Show up early. People have been camping out for these things. Like in Bristol, like 8 o'clock or something like that in the morning, there were a couple hundred people, and they also camped out. A lot of them. But then, like soon after that, thousands started to show. The audition started there at 11 a.m. They closed it around 10:30 because there were too many people. So people showing up around, even if you showed up around like 9:30, you still, and they made it to the front of the line. They're like, sorry, you can't come in,
Wow.
come back the next day or whatever. And people were, it was raining. People
or
were
go online. That's,
go online.
They audition. They opened that up for that.
Yeah. But, this is it. This is your all's chance. I've been waiting for this chance.
Yeah, and again, we can't stress it enough. This is not like what you see on American Idol. This is not an American Idol where the most flamboyant or this is a serious audition. So you got to take it seriously.
Yeah, and the casting director, like you said, this could be a chance for you to be in another role or another movie. Like they just had one in St. Louis. The casting director said, like, I will definitely come back and look here for future talent.
There you go.
So, because she was very impressed with the talent that showed up. And although she said no acting experience necessary, that I think a lot of it is based off looks, but then you'll get a call back to see actually if you can act.
Oh, yeah. You're going to have some talent. No doubt about that.
I mean, I feel like I just feel like I can do okay, maybe. I don't know.
I think you can.
I think I have a decent look, but we'll see. I mean, I always say, like, when I first heard about this, they're going to do a Saturday night, I was like, if they have an open casting call, I don't care if it's in California, I'm going to go. But thankfully, they didn't, because I was kind of bluffing with that. But
I mean, in all honesty, and not just because you're my co-host, but if it's Han and Leia's son, you could pass for that.
Well, okay, let's talk about that, actually.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm thinking it's for. It's for Han. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking it is too.
And that's why I was thinking, like, that's why maybe there wasn't like a Harrison Ford type. Someone who could pass off as his kid. But let's talk about that a little bit, because these character descriptions, they're obviously fake or just twisted a little bit, right? Because
those could totally be not. They're just looking for the age range.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like they want, like the character Thomas has not grown up with the father's influence. They're looking for that similar type of range to have that. Like maybe we want a kid who can project that kind of maybe sense of uncertainty. And then in the sides, it even has like a little bit of comedy. So they're, with this whole audition process, they're looking for an actor's range.
Absolutely.
So these are obviously bogus descriptions, or at least bogus enough that you can't, because you'll read it and be like, oh, that can't be Solo's kids, because that means that they got to be dead. No, these have got to be for someone's kids.
Yeah.
So most likely the Solo kids, and they could still be the twins, although they're looking for different age actors.
That's hiding it as they're hiding.
They're really
it's
hiding.
Abrams movie.
Yeah,
it's an Abrams movie.
Yeah,
they're hiding something.
Yeah,
they're not going to. I mean, they tried to hide the auditions at first too, right? Until they finally admitted, okay, these are for Star Wars.
yeah.
So it's definitely possible. I mean, that's what they do all the time. I mean, they just released. On a side note, I mean, they just released the production name of Man of Steel.
Yeah,
and it's. What is it like?
Sage and
Milo. Sage and Milo. I mean, they're trying to manipulate. Hide the fact that and honestly, that's partly is unfortunately, to me, partly is because you don't want everybody coming. 40-year-olds coming to a 20-year-old audition. I mean, so you try to just make it basic and brief. So that you get the serious people that that aren't expecting Star Wars, that are just wanting to do a movie. Yeah, I mean that's a way of doing it, and I think if you know the business like that, then they know what they're doing. So they know what roles they're looking for, and like I said, if you go in there and nail it, but they don't think you're right for that, they'll find something for you.
Absolutely.
If there's something someone else, and it's possible that could be that could be. Like the bad guy, that doesn't grow up with his father, I mean,
or a spinoff,
I mean, it could be for it could be
for the
live,
Solo.
It could be for the live action show.
Exactly.
You don't know. All it says is Star Wars. Really? I mean, does it say Episode 7 specifically?
No. Well, it doesn't say Star Wars anywhere.
Oh, okay. But they have confirmed it. Yeah, Lucasfilm has confirmed that it's.
It says Disney.
But okay, so it's not technically Episode 7.
It doesn't say it. Let me go back to that open casting call on it, but no, I think it's all. It only says it says feature Disney film. It just says Disney film.
Okay.
So they could hold you for a Marvel movie.
Yeah, and definitely like you said, or a spinoff,
Yeah.
Star Wars spinoff that they're doing. So, yeah.
Sweet.
So the bottom line is, if you're doing it, be serious about it.
Yeah.
Be prepared to leave something for them.
Yeah.
And be prepared to wait.
Yeah. So
Be patient.
I'll be going to the November 24th one.
Bring your iPods.
So, yeah. We will most. I find, and when I go, I'm saying when I go because I'm really dedicated to this. I will bring my video, my phone, and I'll videotape some of it.
Yes.
You guys will see some of that footage.
Tweet it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'll live tweet stuff, and if I get a call back, I don't know if I can tell you guys, but
Yeah.
we'll see. Yeah, Abrams will not be at these auditions, so don't go expecting to see freaking the director.
Yes.
Like that, guys. It's just casting directors. But do it, man. Waiting a long time for this stuff. All right.
Who, in all honesty, casting directors are one of the most important people in the movie industry.
Absolutely.
So you want to impress them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it seems like literally the first instance in this case is you walk in, they're going to like you as soon as they see you, basically.
Oh, yeah.
They're looking, yeah.
I've done auditions where I've walked in and literally had a conversation and left.
Yeah.
Just talked. They just asked me a couple of questions and some serious questions, you know, where I would be in there for like 3-4 minutes, just literally talking, thinking I was just pre-talked before the audition.
Yeah.
No, that was the audition.
Yeah. That's what this is, basically.
Yeah.
And I've heard some people say it was like 30 seconds. Some people say like it was like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So I think
they'll know
the longer
right
you're
away.
there,
They'll know right away how you are. So it's tough.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. Well, that's that. We'll keep you updated with that. It's really cool. I mean, if you want to go, again, open casting call 2013.com where you can get the sides. You guys can read it yourself and just go ahead and audition if you don't want to travel. All right. Moving on.
I'm just upset that my daughter, they don't have her age range for my daughter.
Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean,
where are the youngling auditions?
Yeah. Well, maybe by the time episode 9 comes around.
Yeah, that's true.
They'll be like a new character.
That's true.
Looking for a young.
All I know is that we're getting Star Wars films forever.
Gosh.
So
yeah,
we have a chance. Even I have a chance at some point.
Yes.
Wise
old hermit.
They need they get the old Asian guy on there, then that's fine. That's me.
Yeah.
I'm there. Anyway,
that's good. Maybe by that time they're probably going to be running out of writers, so they'll ask us to write it for them.
Yes,
all right.
right.
Those are the biggest news we have for you guys. They're pretty big. Last one is last week. Last show we talked about, or a couple weeks ago, we talked about the whole Michael Arndt is not the writer anymore. Now it's Lawrence Kasdan or Larry Kasdan, I guess,
Larry,
as they call him, Larry. And then J.J. Abrams are now the co-writers of Episode 7. This past week, though, Abrams has kind of come out and explained why. And it's pretty much what we talked about was there's a timetable that they need to get on, and now it's time to kind of speed things up. And so Abrams and Kasdan feel like that they can do what needs to be done in the amount of time that they have. That's why now they are taking over. Michael Arndt has kind of been, because it seems like he was kind of taking his time on it and not completing it as fast as they wanted him to complete it. So that's why he's gone. Abrams and Kasdan are in. And so now they're going to get cracking on it for the December 18th release date. And it's going to be fantastic. So
absolutely.
That is all. All the big stuff. There's little things, but we're not going to touch on that.
That's it. Big news.
Big.
As far as the casting and stuff goes. So a couple of little things here. If you're in the comics and listening to the show, we basically been talking about 2 comic lines. The one called Star Wars, which is the based on the episode 4 characters. It takes place between episode 4 and 5. Great storyline. Yes. That one's an ongoing series. Number 11 actually comes out this Wednesday, so we'll talk about that next week. This past Wednesday, The Star Wars, which is a miniseries, I think it's an 8-part miniseries. Number 3 came out. We've talked about the first 2 on the show. This one has the cover Desert Ambush. It's got Luke Skywalker fighting stormtroopers with lightsabers.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about that at first, for one thing.
Yeah.
But What do you think about this book this week?
Um,
So basically, real quick, if you just this is your first episode, this is based on George Lucas's rough draft of Star Wars Episode 4, and maybe even 5 and 6, depending on how much they do, because he technically wrote all 3 movies at one time. But this is the rough draft of Star Wars, the original Star Wars.
Like right now, it's kind of the Episode 4.
It is
a lot different. Only there's also a lot of it there from what we know.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been totally impressed with this whole series.
I haven't either.
This one I kind of like just because of how toned down it was. Because in this one it was literally just Luke Skywalker, Anakin Starkiller, and Princess Leia, just fighting people on Tatooine. Not Tatooine, Aquile,
something like that.
And you saw a little bit of Vader and actually Prince Valorum, which was pretty cool. So I like this one just because it. I mean, I wasn't really in love with it, but it was good. It was all right.
It was all right
because of how toned down it was and how you saw just simple, action. I liked it. All right, but still not heavily impressed.
I actually liked the look of the stormtroopers.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I just don't know why. I just don't understand how they have lightsabers.
I guess they don't use the Force. It's probably just like a weapon.
Yeah, but usually it's the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things.
There is a lot of different things.
Like one thing, instead of "May the Force be with you," they say "May the Force of others be with you."
Yes, right? Yeah, that's strange too.
Yeah.
So again, it's in all honesty, it's not Star Wars. It's what you know of Star Wars. I mean, there's pieces of it there, but it's a different story. Now they did have in this one. I mean, it was straight out of the book or straight out of the movie. The R2 and C-3PO crash landing.
That was a lot from the movie. Yeah,
I mean the same lines and everything, and even the crate dragon. Skeleton in the background. That part,
I wonder if that was what the artist did. But the lines and the dialogue and the story, I feel like that could have actually been the rough draft.
That's true. Yeah.
But there's something that we haven't been able to pin down is what are they taking for liberty?
Correct. Yeah. Well, thing about it is which I think they look like it, don't they? A lot of Ralph McQuarrie's original stuff came from the first draft.
Yeah. So like the C-3PO R2-D2, that is what
they look like, right?
They were originally drawn at.
And Tatooine somewhat resembles what they drew. Yeah. He drew too. So now I don't remember seeing original stormtroopers. I don't know if that's what they look like.
I have to watch it again, but honestly, I want to say those guys look like the characters from THX 1138.
Oh, those guys,
the police. I don't know. I'm probably wrong, but that's what my guess is.
They had.
Was it silver?
And they I think they had all glass face. Didn't they?
I think it was. I think you're right. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, those look like stormtroopers in a sense, except they don't have the 2 eyes.
Yeah,
like the whole visor looking thing, almost like Clone Wars, Clone Troopers.
Yeah, a little different. It's pretty
cool. Different, but very cool.
Like in Obi-Wan. Oh, no, Obi-Wan. I say Obi-Wan because he looks like Obi-Wan.
I know.
But Luke Skywalker has a red lightsaber. Mm-hmm. So weird.
Yep. And Vader, there's that shot of him from the back.
Yeah.
Which he has the helmet part, but his face is exposed.
Yeah.
So, anyway. And he takes orders from a lot of people, it seems like.
It does seem like he's big. Yeah. He's not the I'm your father Vader.
Yeah. So, decent. We'll keep talking about that as the series goes on. I think there's 8 issues of that. So, if you're interested in it, you can. But I highly recommend Star Wars.
Yes.
The Star Wars comic. Not the Star Wars, but Star Wars comic. Number 11 is coming out. If you hit your local shop, they more likely still have the back issues for that. So, but they also came out with the first trade of that collects the first 6 issues, so you can catch up on that very easily. It's a very, very good read. I suggest it highly. And then the last thing we'll kind of report on is Star Wars the card game.
Yes.
Check our other podcast out. Star Wars TCG.
Sister podcast.
Yes. Episode 3 got released last week. We're doing that show every other week, so you'll get another episode next week from us, and more than likely we'll be talking about the new Force Pack that they are previewing right now. They released announced the 3rd Force Pack in the Echoes of the Force cycle, which is called Knowledge and Defense. The first one was Heroes and Legends. Lore of the Dark Side was the second one, and now you have Knowledge and Defense. There's some interesting, nothing really, no big names, it seems like in this, like a Han or a New Leia or a Vader or anything like that. But there's a lot more. They're bringing a lot of EU characters. Mara Jade being the biggest one that they're getting ready to release in the expansion, and in one of the Force packs. So we're going to get two of those. Man, this one has Saris. Yeah, who's you looked up as a.
I don't think she's in many books or stories. She's in some video games.
Yeah, kind of stuff. But just like who's the Jedi? Yeah,
he's big.
Yeah,
he's
so
a big guy.
And that's coming in the first Force pack of Echoes of the Force here. So there's some good, and it seems like this one, as we'll talk about more on Star Wars TCG, this one focuses a lot on the Force icons and the use of them, winning the Force struggle and stuff like that. We've never had anything really that does that kind of stuff. So we're going to look deeper into this and talk about this next week as they release a little bit more information on it. But so basically, it's weird because they haven't done this before, where they've announced so many cards coming out without nothing coming out.
Yeah.
Normally they would announce, at least with the Hoth cycle, it seemed like they announced Hoth cycle, the next Force pack, and it wasn't until that came out until they actually announced the next one. So, but now that you've got the expansion coming and 3 Force pack they've announced that hasn't, and technically these Force packs aren't going to start coming out to the beginning of the year. So the expansion hopefully will come out next month is what we're hearing in December. So again, we got a Star Wars The Card Game podcast out there, Star Wars TCG, StarWarsTCG.com if you want to check that out every other week. And we will talk about that a little bit here on the show, but that's mainly going to be, that's all Star Wars The Card Game stuff. All right, so anything else, Case, before we go on to trivia?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Do not think so.
Trivia. Let's see. We are. I'm at 18 and 15. Casey's at 16 and 17. You're under 500 there, brother. Big turnaround these last few weeks. All right, and this question from Obsessed with Star Wars is 763. Looks like we'll be in the Attack of the Clones era. All right, here we go. Ready? 763. What, according to Dexter Jetster, gave away the fact that he was holding a Camino saber dart? It's directly from the movie right here.
Yeah.
What, according to Dexter Jetster, gave away the fact that he was holding a Camino saber dart?
Yeah, I think I know this.
A, funny little cuts on the side. B, Caminoan symbols. C, lines along the fins. Or D, grooves in the tip.
Ooh. That's subtle enough to be confusing.
Yep.
I'm going to go with A.
I also am going with A because I think that is the correct answer.
Yeah.
And it is A. Funny little cuts on the side, give it away.
Cuts on the side.
Yeah, so that's directly from the movie. That's something we haven't had in a while.
Yeah. Well, glad we know it.
Yeah. See, you watched it 100 times and you get to know the answers.
Yeah. It's like, what? How the heck would you know that? Because you watched it a bunch of times.
Exactly. So, all right. So that does it for this week. Check us out at InsideTheForce.com. That's where you can connect with us on all things that we're connected with. Twitter, we're at Inside the Force. Our RSS feed is on there. iTunes, you can subscribe to us right there. Or you can listen to all the podcast shows right there from Inside the Force, all 34 episodes. Casey over here is at Kryptonian1138. I am at dcottingham21. We have some great banners on our website as well. If you wanted some Star Wars stuff, man, there's superhero stuff. It's got a bunch of Star Wars shirts on there. Her Universe, some great collectibles at Sideshow Collectibles. We got Entertainment Earth. You can buy a bunch of Star Wars stuff from there. Movie posters at All Posters and Movie Goods. Anything you want Star Wars, just click on there. We got eBay stuff right there on our banners. help out the show. All that stuff's right there, discounts and everything. So look at that right there, InsideTheForce.com. If you want more shows from the 21 Network, which you're a part of, go to 21network.com. All 7 podcasts. You can get the latest episodes right there. KooCast, ours Inside the Force. You got the El Mary podcast. You got the 21 podcast, In the Comics, Popular Fanatics, and of course Star Wars TCG, which we mentioned. So, 4. Did I leave anything out?
Nah.
4. Casey Cooley.
It'll be like old times, Luke. They'll never stop us. One of his last lines.
One of his last.
And we're gonna honor the veteran Biggs this week. This is Veterans Day.
It is Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Yes, that's very true. Thanks for all those who served, especially Biggs Darklighter.
That's what depressed Darth Vader tweeted. It's like, I like to honor all the stormtroopers or whatever that served.
Yes,
in the Imperial Army.
that's right. Yes, but in all honesty, thank you for all the men and women that serve our country. Very, very, very grateful.
Yep.
That we're able here to sit here and do a podcast because of that. So, thank you. All right, so I am David Cottingham. Check us out next week where we continue with episode 4 characters on number 35. Thanks for listening, and may the Force be with you.
This has been a production of the 21 Network. For more great podcasts, visit 21network.com. To view additional content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/21network. Follow us on Twitter at 21network for the latest news and updates. The 21 Network, for the fan and all of us.